The police officer accused of murdering his 22-year-old crime prevention warden girlfriend in the south of Johannesburg is set to appear in the Protea Magistrate's court in Soweto today. The 42-year-old allegedly attempted to commit suicide when he was arrested for killing Chesnay Keppler in El Dorado Park. He was in hospital under police watch. Today he will be formally charged for murder. Keppler was laid to rest on Saturday. For more on that story, let's cross to SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo. A very good morning to you, Ofentse. Thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us? What's happening where you are?
A good morning to you too, Simpiwe. Well, I can tell you that the situation is quite calm here in Soweto where we are, where the 42-year-old police officer that actually allegedly murdered Keppler is actually expected to appear here today. But from what we understand, we know that he was actually under heavy police guard at the Chesnay Keppler hospital after he attempted to end his life, but then they actually took him to hospital where he was actually getting treatment. So it's not yet clear as to whether he will definitely be making his way here. As you rightfully mentioned, the lady who actually passed on was actually buried over the weekend, and there were some strong statements that actually came out from the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, who was saying that he's actually going to intensify the fight against gender-based violence and femicide, which have been described by government as an epidemic, as the second epidemic after HIV. And in fact, even though the NPA is actually succeeding in prosecuting some of these cases with a prosecution rate of about 80%, 90%, they are saying that this is not actually a deterrent to those that are actually committing these crimes. You remember in KZN, there was a situation of Sibusiso Lawrence who actually filmed himself live, on social media after he had committed femicide. So instances like those show that, some of the victories that the NPA are actually achieving in prosecuting such crimes, they're actually not a deterrent, and they're saying that this is actually a pandemic that they will fight against. Even President Cyril Ramaphosa also mentioned that, during the 2024 State of the Nation address, that gender-based violence and femicide are a pandemic that should actually be dealt with by government. Well, from today, we are expecting to hear deliberations here. There was an anticipation of, a ballistic report which will actually show as to the gun that was used was the service pistol that belonged to the 42-year-old. So we are waiting in anticipation to hear what will definitely come out of court, and as to whether the 42-year-old police officer will also be here in person or he'll be appearing from the Chesnay Keppler hospital where he's getting treatment.
Offense, in the last few days, we've seen the community being united in condemnation of this particular police officer's act of killing Chesnay Keppler. What are you seeing there? Are there any supporters of the Keppler family who, out to support the family? Well, in terms of protest, of course, in condemnation of this murder.
Well, at this present moment, I think it might be too... Apologies. I think at this present moment it might still be too early to tell, because we are right at the court entrances, and there isn't really a lot of movement in terms of the local community that was here during the first appearance. I can ask my colleague to actually show you what is actually happening outside. It might still be a little early, but from what we understand, the numbers that were here during the first appearance, which was actually postponed to today for further investigation, and because the accused in the matter could not make it to court, is not here. But we are seeing a very strong police contingent which is actually prepared for any eventuality that will actually be coming here, if maybe there would be community members coming to protest the extent to which government is winning the fight against GBV. We have the police officers and the colleagues of the 22-year-old slain lady who are also here in their green uniform, trying to ensure that they enforce the power of the state here at the court.
When we are told that the accused will be, or the suspect will be appearing in court today, is it safe to assume that his medical condition, allows him to appear before court?
Yes, absolutely. Hence, I was saying that, we are waiting with bated breath to see if maybe he will definitely be here physically or he will be at the hospital. It's not yet clear as to whether he will definitely be here in court, but we'll definitely confirm that as and when that information is confirmed by the NPA.